Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another video. Last video, I hope you guys enjoyed. That was of Rock Lake, both cinematic and, well, I don't know if you guys have seen the cinematic on my other channel, but hope you guys enjoyed the Rock Lake video anyways. Before we get started on this video, I just want to let you guys know I have got 2 other channels now. And if you guys like to check them out, and here comes Jenny. And a dog. And here comes Jenny. Jenny's not the dog, but the dogs are out. Oh, both dogs are out, right? Yes?
Yeah.
Both dogs are out. Anyways, as I was saying, I've got 2 additional channels. One is for dash cam videos, which I have a dash cam that I have for both vehicles, both my red car and my blue car. Here's Jenny over there. She's gonna say hi.
Hi, everyone.
It takes forever for her to say hi. Because she's old. Are you old?
No.
Car's driving like there's no lights on.
Well, that's his problem.
And anyways, both channels will be in the description below if you guys want to check them out. One is, like I said, dashcam videos. And the other one is for my cinematic videos. And cinematic style type videos. What are you doing over there?
I'm getting my hair because it's still wet, so I'm trying to dry.
Oh, yeah, she just got out of the tube. It is about 11:30 at night, but to continue on with this video will be a little different than just a vlog. I'm going to go walk around this neighborhood and show you the locations of what happened, or what's been happening around here over the last several years. We've had several incidences around here, kind of creepy at times and whatnot, and sometimes not creepy, but our neighborhood is not for lacking excitement, that's for sure. Right, Jenny?
An understatement.
Exactly. So to start off, we're going to start with the most mildest location and then continue on to the weirdest. And sometimes
I think every no matter where you live in the city, I don't care where you are, there's always something.
Yes, but
so it's not a bad. We're not in a bad area.
I'm gonna retract. Me and Jenny are you might catch us bickering because I'm gonna say not every area is bad, because growing up where I did was not a bad area. But you know what? I'll tell you something. Now it is. Okay, I'm going to finish before she rudely cut me off, because that's what Jenny does. Is areas aren't always bad, and they get bad. Well, okay, ours has gone opposite. This area was really bad in the beginning when we got here, and it's calmed down. But still,
yeah. It was really bad that the first night we had our car sitting out at the front steps, and it got smashed in.
And well, she's cutting into my stories already, so she's rudely interrupting and jumping the gun. We're supposed to do the mildest first, not the most dangerous first or weirdest first. Anyways, let's get to it. We're gonna get to it, and we're gonna continue on and start. Well, our first house here is gone now. Right in this location here, used to be a very, very, very small house. And it was surrounded by bushes.
I think it only had 1 bedroom.
It was, I don't know, but it was very tiny. It almost was like a little motorhome almost on wheels. But the thing about this house, it was surrounded by bush. It was very tiny. We never once, out of all the years that this little tiny house was here, it was never ever, we never once saw a person in it or moving around it or cutting the grass or anything. It's very weird.
Seen people that you knew people were there.
Well, we knew people were there, but we just never seen them. So, that was very, very weird. Heads up, Jenny, here comes a car.
I'm sorry, I was watching something else.
So, yeah, it was just a very, very strange thing. And talking about strange, those guys are probably wondering what we were doing here. And they're braking, but that's okay. Oh, that's because they live up there. So that was this is just nice and simple. And like I said, it was just a strange house, creepy, very tiny, surrounded by bush, so you really couldn't see in the yard, so you couldn't see what anybody was doing.
Yeah, now look at it.
And now it's a big, nice, fancy house.
2 houses.
Yeah, so continuing on. Now for our second house, this was a meth house, a drug house. This house, again, is on our block, just like the one beside it. That was the small, tiny house. What happened in this house, as Jenny walks in front and actually blurs out the house, because we're in the dark, because she's trying to watch a rabbit beside her or behind us.
There's another one.
See? In this house was, we had a big raid that happened here. We had helicopters. This place was surrounded at one time. Now all the video,
A year or two ago.
all the stuff I'm talking about happened in random years, so they're not in chronological order or anything. So this was a big thing, but the house is now sold to other people, so it's now calmer here as well. But again, big drug house, raided by cops, helicopters, SWAT, everything, whatever it was. Now that was the excitement of that house.
What's wrong?
Okay, I know you guys can't see this house very well. I'll see if I can zoom in at all. I guess you can see just a little bit.
Come on.
But not a heck of a lot.
Come on. Oh,
so,
you're a big baby.
where's that light blinking from? I see a light blinking in there. Oh yeah, there it is. I see it over there. Look, over there in the alley. Look at my camera.
Oh, it's a not a headlight, but a tail light.
Tail light?
Yeah.
Okay, anyways, to the left of that. And I'm sorry for the darkness. We can't really use too much light because neighbors and stuff, we don't want to have the police called on us.
Sit.
This house across the street is very famous. Many years ago, we had an unstable lady that lived across the street. Huh?
Thank you. No, give me a kiss.
An unstable lady that lived across the street. And she used to do a lot of weird things. She used to like to talk to herself. She roamed around the neighborhood. What else she do other than talking to herself? She used to yell at people for unknown reasons. Very random.
Oh, yeah.
So she was just, you couldn't go anywhere near her, and she would stare at you. If you walked by, she would stare, literally give you the death stare. Very creepy. Anyways, well, now that you got to see the house, I guess I can turn it around so you're not just staring at the house, but you can actually see us. So let's do that. Let's make sure that we're zoomed out the right way. There we go, so you can see us. So that same house. Okay, now she was eventually kicked out of the house, and she decided to move about 5 houses down, and where she moved into was under a tree. I will take you to that tree right away and show you where she lived for a while. But in the meantime, she had a son. And her son was also more unstable. Where was that? Door over there open. Ooh, big moth. And his story was, we don't know why, but he targeted me. He hated me the most. Yeah, laugh. This guy was big. This guy was very, very, very stocky. Stocky big, not overweight big. And so, for some reason, he targeted me. Didn't like me. I don't know why. But, again, he used to creep me out, stare me down. Well, one day, he decided to, I guess he wanted me to run him over. So he pretended, he pretended to be ran over. So what he would do is when we would leave to go, like, say, for breakfast in the morning, he would go behind my vehicle. And he would try and ride on the bumper. Well, he sat against the bumper as I was backing up, and I did not, and I did not know it. You know, I mean, I eventually did catch on that there was someone behind there. So I stopped, and he tried to come to my window, and he was banging on my window, and he was freaking out on me. So I just, as we were back on our driveway, just decided to put it in drive and drive away. But over the next couple of days, at nighttime, he would come into our backyard, and he would start pounding on my back window or back door to the house. He wanted in, and like I said, he was a big guy. He scared the heck out of all of us. Eventually, I had to call the police.
They took him away.
And the police decided that he's way too unstable, so yes, they decided to take him away. And we have not seen him since. So that's one story for that house across the street. We got 2 more stories after that. I'm going to go show you where she lived under the shrubs, the trees. So, give it a second. And in this area is where she lived, underneath these trees. They've actually grown a lot since then. But she used to live right underneath.
I thought it was underneath that tree over there.
It was probably. It was over the hanging ones. It's probably this one.
That one over in the corner, I think, is more.
But this is where she decided to sleep for most of the summer. Very interesting. But we have to shut this light off because we're in the neighborhood and we don't want the police called on us, and who knows. Well, they probably won't anyway. We're not doing nothing wrong. As we were walking down here, which is just half a block, some guy out of his house was staring at us. So it kind of creeped us out. Okay, Jenny, start working your way back. It was very creepy. So we're shutting the light back off. You can probably see the silhouette of Jenny. The camera I'm using today is the HDR-PJ670, which is the same one a friend of mine uses, with built-in balanced optical steady shot stabilization. So that what makes the cameras very smooth. And I also run it in 60 frames per second, which is really good for nighttime videoing. Not very grainy at all. Anyways, continuing on to the next story as soon as we get back. So to continue on the story, with that same house after, well, popular neighborhood. After, there's a glare. It's still there.
What?
There's a glare. There we go. Nope. Anyways, you have to deal with that little dot that's on there, because I can't seem to get rid of it. After they moved out, we had another guy move in that was also unstable, and he used to love in wintertime pushing snow into the middle of the street. So he'd take it off the sidewalk and push it into the street. Well, one year he pushed it when my dad had a handicap what are the signs on this side of the street. He used to push all the snow into the handicap. Just very unstable, very weird. He didn't last here very long as well. But that's about the only run-in I had with him. After he moved out, we had a family move in. And we used to watch this family in their big bay window. They used to dance and chant. It was very weird, very strange.
Cars coming and going.
Yeah, a lot of cars coming and going. Well, we found out that, of course, they were dealing drugs. So one time, I confronted them. Bad thing to do. But
they were always parking out front in this.
Yeah, I know, but it was the smell of drugs and everything like that, and they were chanting and making a whole bunch of noise. So I confronted them from my side of the fence. Well, they came to this side of the fence. Like, they came to the opposite side of the fence. I was in the yard, they were outside the yard, and they were threatening me and cursing me and everything like that. And so Jenny pretended to get on the phone to call the police. Well, we never saw people scatter so fast. They were going through their house. They were running down the street in both directions, backyard, everything. So it was pretty crazy. Well, within a week, they were moved out and gone. Now, I don't know if it was because of our threatening to call the police or that we knew that they were doing drugs. I mean, we could smell it. When the wind was blowing this way, we could smell it. So it was pretty crazy. So, yes, I know. So there was that, and then after they moved out, we had a single guy move in. And if you guys here just heard that big bang, we're just down the street from a train yard where they connect and unconnect trains, which we hear day and night. So then we had our last person that moved in across the street, and I did a partial video with him. He would go and rake leaves onto the street, center of the street, and then light them on fire. He would push the snow onto the street and just leave it there. I mean, people had to drive through it and whatnot. He was very strange. He was yelling at me before one time, and he was out of control. Very unstable.
He threw bread at your
Oh,
brother?
yeah. He, one Christmas time, last Christmas actually, my brother was leaving the house here, and I warned him that I said, if our neighbor tries to do anything crazy, just ignore him. So he wasn't butter. So my neighbor was outside, and he went in the house, came back out with bread, and started throwing bread at my brother. So that was very weird. My brother didn't know what to say or anything like that. So he hollered back, well, you could at least throw some dip for me. Right? That was a funny moment, but still, he was very unstable. Well, just a couple months ago, last month, beginning of last month, he finally moved out. So now the house is empty. The owners are in there because he did a lot of damage. And the owners are in there trying to repair it, and they want to sell it. So it is staying empty for now. So many years ago,
I think Coco's very. I think the cats are very upset.
Many years ago, a kid tried to attack me with a skateboard. I was traveling down the street. He was in the middle of the street, refused to get off the street. So I got out of my vehicle. This was just out front here. And I told him to get the heck off the street. And instead of getting off the street, he came at me swinging a skateboard. But he didn't hit me. So that was another incident that we had here. Our creepiest incidences that we have here. In the middle of the night, we do get random people that come through our yard. We've had people come to our doors and try to walk into our place. We've had them knock on our doors. We're talking 2, 3, 4 in the morning. And anyways, so we'd peek out our window sometimes. Our bedroom window is right beside our front steps. That's where the kitties meowing from. So we can sometimes watch and we see these strange people at the steps. And it's just very weird. And that still goes on to today. We get people cutting through our yards, coming into our yard. And we go flying out here. What's crazy is I come flying out here with a camera. Not a bat, not a knife, not a gun. I come flying out here with a camera and flashlight. That's my weapon. So if something does happen, then I guess I'm in trouble.
And then your kids run out with you.
Holy Dinah, that was loud. Those are trains. Yeah, that's wicked. But anyways, that's our neighborhood. In the past and present of what's going on.
It's not bad.
It's not too bad here, but
I think they got rid of the rifty rafts here.
But a lot of the trouble's gone now. So it's a calmer neighborhood. But that is it. And if there's any more, we will let you know. So you guys have yourself a good night. And like I said, if you guys do make it to the end of this video, I do have my 2 channels. That will be in the description below if you'd like to check them out, and subscribe if you get a chance. What are you doing?
I'm just looking at the little things on the camera.
Those little lines?
Yeah.
That's the surround sound.
Oh.
Because it says 5.1 surround sound, because this is doing surround sound.
Oh. I never really paid attention to it.
Jenny can say have a good night, because
have a good night.
That's better. Get her out of the way,
My hair's all sticking up.
And we shall see you in the next video. So, bye-bye for now.